I was born downtown Buffalo, New York.
And still reside there today? Buffalo?
Yeah, I still reside in Buffalo.
And is it a certain part of Buffalo you represent? I know you said downtown.
Yeah, downtown. Jefferson Projects, Town Gardens, Swan.
And somebody watching this that might not be so familiar with Buffalo, how far is that from, let's say, New York City, if they're familiar with that?
About like a 6-hour drive, all depending on who driving.
What was that like for you growing up in Buffalo? Can you paint that picture for us?
Rough Buff, that's what they call it, you know, for obvious reasons. It's a gritty city, you know, a lot of crime, drugs, you know, from the inner city.
And were you able to dodge that personally yourself, or did you get immersed in it?
I actually was a product of my environment. Actually, you know, I grew up in the streets. You know, I started off, you know, in school, you know, was a very intelligent young man. And then, you know, as I grew up getting into the teens, you know, I dabbled into the streets, and then, you know, that became my way of life.
Now, when it comes to this rough picture you painted, what do you think your roughest moment was for you growing up?
Realistically, probably, you know, just having to suffer from seeing my mother, you know, getting high off the drugs that I was selling. So, you know, that was a real impactful moment in my life.
Meaning you sold it directly to her?
No, just
Okay.
meaning that she was actually, you know, doing the drugs that I sold.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? Not, you know what I mean? I would never sell my mom no drugs.
When she was under the influence of these drugs, did she know at the time you were dealing it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I was actively in the streets. That was just my lifestyle.
Was there ever a point where she would ask you for this drug?
Of course. Of course. But, you know, me, I would never directly sell my mother no drugs. That's just, you know, I live by, you know, morals and values. Even though what I was doing was, you know, wrong, but at the end of the day, you know, I mean, I'm still my mother, though, you heard?
She understood that? Did that cause a rift between you two?
Sometimes, but, you know, I just thank God that, you know, she overcame all of that shit. I love Mama Love, and, you know, I just appreciate her for, you know, being a strong woman and being able to overcome all that shit. So, you know, that's real shit.
What drug was this?
Crack cocaine.
And how was she able to beat it?
She's just a strong-willed woman, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the programs, it wasn't the jail, it wasn't none of that. It was just her and her mindset, you know what I'm saying, being a strong-willed woman, you know?
For her, and you were able to see all of this.
Right.
For her, was it like a light switch, cold turkey, off and on? I mean, on and off, I should say? Or was it gradual over time when she was able to beat it?
It was just like when she was ready to give it up, she gave it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, she realized, you know, that she got a lot to live for, you know what I'm saying? Her sons is doing a lot of big shit in the world, so, you know, it's a lot, and she got grandbabies and shit to live for, so, you know, she got a lot of shit going on, so, you know, it's like, that ain't it, you know, and that's what I respect about her. You know, she said, you know what, I got to get my shit together, and that's what she did. I love you, Mama Love. It's your son, you heard?
Good relationship with your mother today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's been rocky over the years, but that's Mama Love at the end of the day. You only get one of those.
You didn't mention your father yet in this interview.
Man, shout out to my dad. He a real one. Like, nigga, while my mom was going through her trials and tribulations, he was a real stand-up dude, and he raised me and my little bro, and, you know, raised us to be the grown men and the successful dudes that we is right now. So big kudos to him, for real.
Your parents split up at one point, though.
Definitely split up. You know, they've been separated for, you know, since I was a kid.
Remember what age, perhaps?
I'm not gonna fake, but probably like 7, I believe. Maybe, I don't know, give or take, somewhere around there.
And you immediately live under the roof of your father?
Right.
Were there ever times you would live under the roof of your mom?
No, not really, no. I mean, we would, you know, be around her, but, you know, no, not really live under a roof of her.
Even though you live under the roof of your father, your mom is part of your life throughout?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was, you know, she was there, but, you know, she was dealing with her, you know, her medical issues, so, you know what I'm saying?
I see. And when it came to the split of your parents, and it came to the relationship of your actual parents with each other, was it a good relationship between them after the split, or no?
You know, starting off, it was, you know, every you know, at the beginning of every split is usually a little rough, rocky road. But, you know, over the years, they, you know, had to, you know, start dealing with each other, you know, being cordial. Like I just took them, you know, for my son's 13th birthday. We went to New Jersey. I rented out an Airbnb mansion in New Jersey, and we was all together. So, you know, it was a real, you know, situation where family, you know what I'm saying? Like any birthdays and shit like that, we family, so we got to be there. They, you know, they both of the grandparents of my kids and my little bro kids, so, you know, they active.
Hindsight 2020, looking back at your life, how do you think this separation of your parents affected you growing up?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it affected me a lot, just like any other kid that lose their parent. But, you know, most of the kids don't have their dad around. You know what I'm saying? Most of the, you know, the guys don't have their dad around. And I mean, I actually had a dad, so, you know, it actually made me, you know, a humble, you know what I mean, dude. And, you know what I'm saying, it probably, not having my mother, you know what I'm saying, that probably, you know, created situations of me dealing with the chicks that I deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but at the end of the day, man, I'm smart enough to know that that ain't no excuse for me not to be successful and to move on in my life. That, you know, I didn't have both of my parents in the same household. That's no excuse. At the end of the day, you know, I'm still hustling and grinding and getting to where I need to be.
Was there ever another female figure in your life, aside from your mother?
Yeah, my dad, you know, he was a cool OG player. So, you know, he had a few chicks, you know, how that go.
Ever had a stepmom?
Something similar to that, you know. He had like a main chick that he dealing with, you know.
And you maintained a good relationship with her?
Yeah, definitely.
Is she still around today?
She actually still around today, and they still kick it now to this day.
Now, let's say somebody's watching this, listening to your story, and they're dealing with the separation of their parents. Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, but is there anything you would say to somebody watching this, going through those motions? Anything you would tell them?
Yeah, I would just say, you know, at the end of the day, you know, relationships don't work out, you know what I'm saying? Even if somebody is married, you know, it don't always work out. Things happen, people grow apart, certain things happen to where, you know, somebody become medically ill, just like my mother was when, you know what I mean, with the drug issue. So at the end of the day, man, things happen, you know, but, you know, love thy parents because you only get one set at the end of the day. And, you know, don't use that as an excuse not to, you know, pursue your dreams and goals in life. Definitely don't do that.
Currently, do you have any kids yourself?
Yeah, I got 3 of them, my babies.
Same mother for all 3?
Nope, my 2 oldest, my oldest is a boy, and then I got a girl with 1 baby mother, and then I got my last baby girl. She's with another lady, which is my wife, but we currently separated, but you know how that go. Just like I was saying, you know what I mean, was making an inference on that, like sometimes things don't work out, so you know. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm cordial. I still make sure I look out, still make sure everybody is taken care of like I'm supposed to.
Because of the way you grew up with the separation of your own parents, do you treat your children differently?
No, I can't. Everybody get treated with the utmost love and respect, but I do discipline because I want you to know right from wrong, because when you get older, the world gonna teach you right from wrong. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a discipline. Ain't no spoiled kids. I mean, I bless my kids with, you know, a lot of shit, but they gotta work for it, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no just, you just gonna be getting shit and thinking that that's how the world work. It don't work like that. You gotta put in the same work that you see your dad putting in to make it happen for y'all. Like, I just took my kids to Disney World, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I had to let them know, like, I had to hustle and grind to make sure that I'm able to take care and provide for y'all to do these things. Because when I was a kid, I ain't get to go to Disney World, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know what I mean, my parents, you know what I'm saying, was bad for not doing it, but I just didn't ever get to go to Disney World, you know what I'm saying? And I love my parents because they did the best that they could, you know?
Now, growing up in this rough picture you painted,
Buffalo, love it though.
was there ever a chance, a possibility, you could have moved away from that description that you painted?
I mean, honestly, you know, the times that I was gonna move away, I ended up getting caught up in the streets and going to prison. So, you know, it seemed like to happen, but it took for me to actually leave the streets alone and focus 100% on my music career and my music business for me to even be able to, you know, move around like I am now. Like, I'm out of town every weekend in a new city, new state, building, you know what I'm saying, making fans, you know, making connections and just networking, doing features. You know what I mean? I got artists hitting me up, paying for features. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting booked for hostings, pop-up shops for my clothing line. Just a lot of work being put in. And it took for me to leave the streets alone completely in order for me to be able to do this. So, you know.
How easy or hard was that to make that transition there?
I'm a strong-willed to do. Like, I stopped smoking and stopped drinking just off the rip without no counseling, without no jail, without no program, none of that shit. I just said, this is not what I'm ready to do right now because I got goals and shit that I'm trying to attain. So we gonna put that to the side and just stop. But as far as the street shit, you know, that was, you know what I mean? I was addicted to that motherfucker, you know? Like, shit, getting that fast money, hitting licks, getting the bag, that's an addictive lifestyle. But I told myself, I'm looking at the bigger picture here, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know too many niggas that got $100 million that's still out here hustling, you feel me? Like, so I know that in order for me to get that bankroll, I gotta be doing some legit shit, you know what I mean?
When it came to smoking and drinking, you flipped that like a light switch. You turned it off.
Man, turned that shit
on
right
the drop of a dime.
Turned that shit right off. I still be around people that still indulge, you know, because, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I still be around my family and friends. But, you know, it's like, damn, how the fuck you do that, bro? Like, damn, bro, like, you really just gave that shit up like that. You sure you don't want to hit this bottle? You sure you don't want to hit this smoke? Nah, I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm focused, though. That's just where it's at with me. I'm focused.
Ever relapsed?
I ain't gonna hold you. Me and my niggas went to Cali for Father's Day. Nigga, that was a situation. I ain't gonna hold you, dog. I got high like a motherfucker in Cali. Why not? It's Cali, bro. You only go to Cali once. I mean, your first time going to Cali, bro, like, it's a fucking smorgasbord of weed buffet. Everywhere you turn around, dispensaries, all type of exotic shit. So I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm getting high. But guess what? When I got back to the town off of vacation, that shit was a dead issue. And I ain't smoked since, though, but yeah, I definitely jumped off the tree with that one, though.
And was that easy or hard to do? I mean, you lay off of it, you touch it for a second, and then you lay off of it again.
Nah, that shit ain't about nothing to me, man. I'm focused. Like I said, I'm focused. My mindset is on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
When it came to the transition from the streets to the music, was that an instant light switch flip, just like it was with the smoking and drinking?
Can't lie, I always been doing music. Like, I got probably like over 12 years in doing music, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it took for me my last bit. I actually went on a run, and I was on a run, Buffalo's 10 Most Wanted, and I told myself, like, yo, I'm out here on the run, I gotta make something shake. So, you know, I was doing my ones and twos. I ended up getting up like 30,000, and before I turned myself in, I ended up, you know, paying some bills, taking care of a few things, lived a couple dollars with a few family members, and then I buried like 22 racks in the backyard, then turned myself in, and then, you know, went to go do my little bid, and then when I came home, after being on the run, I came home, I said, man, I got 10 months left of parole. They had me on a GPS ankle monitor. Said, once I rock this shit out and get my life back, dog, I will not be fucking with the street shit no more, because at the end of the day, it's gonna keep holding me up, you know what I mean? Like, every time I go to jail, that shit like a reset. Even if you do got the bag, when you come home, it's still a reset, though. Like, you gotta really start over and really gotta transition and really gotta build your shit back up. So it's like, can't keep playing myself like that.
Did you ever relapse with the streets?
Nah, once I gave that shit up, it was over. Like, once I came home the final time, it was over for that. Because I already had me a little stash, you know what I'm saying? I took that and made the best out of it, you know what I'm saying? My last little 22 racks, I took that and made the best out of it, and I've been pushing ever since.
So you actually unearthed the 22 racks, and it's fine. Nobody touched it, nobody moved it.
I'm gonna tell you a weird story. When I got there looking for that, it took me like 3 or 4 hours to find that bitch, because when I tell you that I was digging that motherfucker up, it's like, damn, where's that? It's not there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was out here at 4 a.m. in the morning burying this bitch, and nobody was out here. How the fuck my shit disappeared? So, you know, it took me calming down, and at the time, you know what I'm saying, I went in the house, my wife was seeing me stressing and shit. She said, just calm down, nigga, like, just go back out there and try it again. I went back out there with a little calmer attitude, and next thing you know, voila, the pot of gold was right there for a nigga.
What did that look like when you unearthed it?
Just was, you know, I saran wrapped it, you know, just vacuum sealed the bag up, you know what I'm saying? And then the shit was fresh bread, you know? My shit ain't mold or nothing like that, because I wasn't going that long, but, you know, it was a situation for me, you know, the little jump start to get my life to where I needed to be.
Just curious how that worked there. Now, financially, how did you grow up?
You know, we grew up in one of the poorest, you know, Buffalo is a poor city anyway. You know, it was like the second and third poorest city my whole time growing up, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I grew up in the Jefferson Projects, you know what I'm saying? Pissy elevators, you know what I'm saying? Pissy stairways, elevator broke. I lived on the 7th floor. So just imagine those motherfucking days walking up the motherfucking 7 flights of steps with groceries, laundry, all type of shit, man. That shit was a real situation.
In American society, people get placed in financial classes. There's poverty, there's lower middle class, there's upper middle class, there's rich. Was your family ever able to move up higher in class growing up, or did they stay at that level?
Nope, not at all. But I'm actually gonna be the person that break that generational curse. Cake boss. Okay. I'm breaking that generational curse right now. Fact.
What do you think the biggest obstacle you faced money-wise was when you were living in poverty? What was the bottom point for you?
I mean,
out of all the low points you could have dealt with, what was the very bottom?
Me personally, I would say, shit, coming home from bids, not having no bread. So, having to restart all over again. Spending money on lawyers, spending money on taking care of people while you in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I was making a few moves while I was in jail too, but, it's just like, just having to restart your life, you know what I'm saying? Like, but, out here transitioning, I done went broke a few times trying to transition and get my life on the right path. But, I mean, even when I was in the street and got fucked up, buy some bad dope, you know what I mean? All type of shit happened, but, shit happens, man. I just thank God, man, that I'm blessed. I overcame all that shit, though. Ain't none of that shit, man. Listen, I overcame all that. We blessed on this side, you heard?
How young were you when you started earning money for the first time?
Shit, I had a summer youth job at 14, bro. Summer youth job, you know what I mean? Had a summer youth job at the Yo Buffalo at the JFK Center in my neighborhood, bro.
Were you able to get any other jobs aside from that through your years growing up?
Yep, I worked a bunch of times. I was always a hard-working dude, you know what I'm saying?
What'd that resume look like? Give us the...
Man, let me see. I worked summer youth programs. I worked at McDonald's when I was like 16, 17. I worked at a bunch of little spots, man. I think I did Dunlop tires too when they had that little layoff when everybody was on strike. I went and earned me some good money that time. I was young too, like, I was like 20. I mean, they was paying niggas like 16, 17 an hour. My niggas was on strike. Hell yeah.
What was your role at McDonald's specifically?
I was actually the cook. I was in the back cooking, whipping shit up.
And what about at Dunlop tires?
Dunlop tires, I was actually making the tires. I'm taking them off the conveyor belt and actually making the tires, put them on the motherfucking, the pulley and shit like that.
Were any of the jobs you mentioned, and you mentioned a couple and some you didn't mention, but were any of the jobs you mentioned tough?
No, not really.
Were any of the jobs you mentioned dangerous?
No, not really. I mean, the Dunlop, you could get, if you fuck around with the machine the wrong way, you could fuck yourself up. But other than that, no, not really.
Did you see or hear anybody getting messed up?
Hell yeah. Motherfucker cut his whole hand when I was working that joint. Hell yeah.
You were there when it happened?
That's a fact. Hell yeah.
You saw it?
Saw a motherfucking hand was cut. I'm talking about his right hand was cut like, whoosh. That shit was a situation.
You saw like it happening as it was going?
I didn't watch it happen. I seen the after effects, like the man's hand cut open. Man's hand was cutting open, blood everywhere. That shit was crazy.
And he ends up losing it?
Yeah, he ends up going crazy. That nigga was screaming and hollering and shit.
Did you quit by any chance after seeing something like that?
Oh no, I've been through tragic situations all my life, so shit, we ain't scared of no little blood, you heard?
Now, aside from that, and that could answer this next question, I don't know, but I was gonna ask you, what's the craziest thing that happened while you were at any of these jobs? And I don't, like I said, maybe that fits this answer, or maybe there was something else, but anything crazy out of the norm?
Hell yeah, niggas was fucking the bitch at the fucking job, nigga. You can't never get no crazier than that. That was lit.
Which job?
Man, shit, pick one, nigga. All them motherfuckers. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. A couple of them, though, I don't want to expose no chicks, but shout out to you, shorties, with an S on the end.
McDonald's?
Shout out to you, shorties, with an S on the end. We ain't exposing nobody, we ain't gonna do you like that.
Okay. You quit or get fired from any of these jobs you mentioned?
Dunlop, that shit was over once people came off strike. I got fired from McDonald's. I was selling weed at McDonald's. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know if that's why I got fired. I don't remember, but I was selling weed at McDonald's when I was working at McDonald's.
Was that easy or hard to do?
What, selling weed?
Yeah.
Shit easy. Everybody smoke weed, bro.
So how would you go about doing it?
Oh, shit, man. I got it. They called me. They need it. It's gone.
Oh, so these were people that you already knew that wanted it.
Exactly. And then, a couple people come through the motherfucking line at McDonald's like, oh, bro, that's you back there? I'm about to go and break in a minute, nigga.
Why serve at the actual McDonald's? Why not just do this after you're off the clock?
You're absolutely right, because, man, they going to go to the left and go see somebody else if you don't motherfucking hit them. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it worked, So I had to go take me a 5-minute bathroom break and meet a nigga outside or something.
Did other employees catch on to this, that you were doing this?
They was getting weed too, bro. Listen, they was on their break chiefing too. Niggas was getting high.
So you were serving everybody.
Man, I was just trying to give me a couple dollars, bro. That's all,
Now, curious here, because you worked at McDonald's, are you sick of the food?
I don't even eat McDonald's. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like my big bro Chubb say, man, we ain't fucking with that commercial shit. We try to stay away from all that bullshit food, man.
So
we ain't fucking with no commercials.
So you stay away from it because you're sick of McDonald's, period, or because you're just unhealthy?
Yeah, it's unhealthy. I don't fuck around with that shit. Nah. I drink water all day, bro. Like, you try to eat healthy shit, chicken. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay with the pork and beef. I might have a steak once in a while if we go out to Roof Chris or something. One of the nice little restaurants, but that's once in a while I eat a steak. But I'm on some seafood, chicken type shit. Salads and shit like that. Savakis and shit like that.
If you could, would you ever consider owning any of the jobs that you worked at, like even McDonald's?
Definitely with that, because it's business at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to business, I take my personal feelings out of it. When we get in the bag, it ain't got nothing to do with personal. It's about the biz ag and about furthering my existence and my legacy, being able to leave some shit for my kids with the generational wealth and all that.
Even if it's unhealthy for others?
Hey, everybody got a choice. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the cigarette commercial, they tell you, like, they got the people talking with the hole in their throat talking and shit. You know what I mean? And they showing you that it's bad, but motherfuckers still going there and go buy them a pack of bogey. So at the end of the day, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Now, you're open about your street past.
Yeah, that's all behind me. I done served all my time. I done left those things alone, bro. That shit is dead weight.
Which came first for you, though? Was it the streets or was it these jobs?
I grew up in the streets, but, I ain't acted. I think I had my first ounce of weed at, 14? Called my man Mother House. I had actually had a whole quarter pound. We had came up on that shit and called my man Mother House and shit. His mother was on the motherfucking other line, dog. Like, listening to the conversation. This is before This is before we had cell phone. I'm calling a house phone. Mama Love pick up the phone downstairs, listening to on a nigga conversation. I call bro like, yo, bro, it's lit, and I got the cute beat, nigga. We about to link. It's about to be on. And Mama Love on the phone, all that, and heard the convo. But yeah, it's crazy.
So that actually happened before the summer youth.
That was at the same time. That was like around 14, around the same time, summertime, shit.
But do you recall which one was first? That ounce?
Probably summer youth. Summer youth
first.
Summer youth.
Now, and it was a friend that put you onto it.
No. It was, being in the streets. We don't, no names included, but being in the streets,
No names, but are you able to say if it was a friend or family member that put you onto the activity at first?
Yeah, it was just a person, a person from around the way, around the world, around the town.
Got you. When it came to street activity, were you the only one in the family that chose that route in the past?
People did their thing in their life, I don't, want to post no judgment on nobody, but, we talking about Ponzo Houdini, the cake boss today. You know the vibes.
Now, looking back, dealing with the streets.
Right.
Obviously, that has its own set of issues.
Definitely. Consequences.
Certain level of stress,
Yeah.
looking over your shoulder feeling.
Yeah.
Violence.
A whole bunch of people that got big boy time. Free Scoot and Rat, man, too, man. Them boys got a big case that they still fighting, too.
And you actually served time yourself.
Yeah, I got 2 felonies, bro. I went upstate twice, too.
How long for each bid?
Actually, my first bid, I did a county year in the county. I ended up turning down probation, the 5-year probation trap. I ended up turning that down and went to go do a county bullet for a year in the county. Then ended up, catching another drug case. Ended up going upstate for 2 years. Then I came home from that, was on parole, got into it with my parole officer. Ended up cutting the ankle bracelet off because she had put me on that for a bunch of curfews that I had caught. Ended up cutting the ankle monitor off and hitting the gingerbread man, did the race.
And how long were you, you state how long you were on the run?
I was on the run for 6 months. Yeah, I just rocked out, you know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, it's time for me to go get this over with.
So when they catch you, you just
they
have
actually ain't even catch me, bro. I ended up turning myself in once
did.
I got my shit together.
And attorney said that was the best thing for you to do?
No, I didn't even need no attorney. I had an attorney that I had paid for to fight, but my shit was only a parole violation. They had me on 10 Buffalo's Most Wanted like I was a armed murderer, a motherfucking crazy man and shit. They was armed and dangerous. Like, bro, my case was drugs. You know what I'm saying? This is only a violation that y'all can hit me with. I'm not out here catching no new cases. You know what I'm saying? So the only time that they can give me was either max out my time, which I owed like a year and some change, or I could go to a 97-day program where it's like a shot camp. You know what I mean? I went to Willard. It's called Willard. You know what I'm saying? It's a 97-day program. And guess what I did? 97-day program, came home, and rocked out that last 10 months of parole. You know what I'm saying?
They choose the 97-day program.
Well, no, actually, I was qualified for it because it's for drug offenders. So I already, see, the thing is, before I went on the run, I already knew what I was looking at. So, I didn't go on the run like the most of these dickheads, just go on the run without no plan for action. Like, my shit was a chess move.
It was calculated.
Calculated. Facts. Always calculate. That's my favorite app on my phone, actually, the calculator. That's a fact.
Now, when you keep going back into incarceration, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times,
right?
That didn't steer you away from the street side of things?
Nope.
After the first time?
Nope.
Okay, after the second time?
Nope. I'm going to be honest with you. No, it did not. But I learned something new every time I went to jail. It wasn't like I was just going to jail being a dickhead. I was actually learning and bettering myself each time, though. Like, and I was actually networking while I was in that motherfucker. Like, it was a lot of connections in jail. Not even on no street shit, just on the shit that I'm doing now, music business and other things. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's some real solid official dudes that's, you know what I mean, that's locked up that, just had a bad situations or made some wrong decision.
What did you learn from being incarcerated, overall speaking?
I mean,
did that teach you anything?
It just teach me how to be a better man at life and just know that I had to value my freedom more, you know what I'm saying? I mean, first couple of times I didn't get it, but the final time when I went on a run, I already knew that, like, yo, I can't keep doing this shit because I got kids and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the major factor. When you got kids, you got to switch it up. Like, you can't keep dipping out in and out of their lives and shit like that, like, because you ain't just living for you no more. You know what I'm saying? You living for the kids and all that. So, you know me, man, I had a bigger plan. I already knew that this music shit was going to take off for me. So I was like, yo, I can't keep going back in reset mode. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you go to jail, you resetting.
And one final thing that one may face in street activity is death.
Death. And that's why I said I'm blessed, bro. I overcame all that shit, bro. Like, I done been through mad shit, shootouts, you know what I mean, all type of, you know what I mean, type of crazy shit, man. Crazy car accidents, you know what I'm saying, all type of shit, man. That's why I said I thank God, bro. I'm blessed, man, for real. Like, I can't complain about nothing.
Wrong place, wrong time shootouts, or
man,
it was meant for you?
Real shit, man, in real life, man, going through it, streets.
Never got hit, though.
Thank you, God, man, you know.
Did the near-death stuff ever steer you away from it?
Nope, I ain't gonna even hold you, because I just chalk it up as a part of the game. Just like jail, just like when I went to jail, it wasn't nobody, you know what I'm saying, no codees, no none of that shit. It was just me on my own shit, and I held it down every time, you know what I'm saying? Not like what these dudes doing now, you know what I'm saying? I ain't tell on nobody. That's one thing, you know what I'm saying, that, I mean, my parents wouldn't even let me tell. You know, it's a lot of dudes that go to jail young and be like, oh, my mama made me tell, or fuck all that. My parents wasn't even with that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I knew what I was getting myself into, so, you know what I mean? It was like, nigga, you did this shit, so you hold it down, bro.
When it came to the street activity stuff, and we're wrapping up here, but
Okay.
thinking back about your past, any of the things that you got involved in, was there any regrets at the end of the day?
I ain't regretting shit, bro, because this shit made me who I am right now, bro. All I can say is, man, if you in your streets out there, man, make sure you got an exit plan, you know what I'm saying? And if you thinking about getting in the streets, think twice, you heard? Because this one thing that I do want to say, bro, like, on some real shit, like, if I know what I know now, if I'd have knew that back then, you don't even need the streets to get rich. There's motherfuckers that's getting way richer than niggas in the streets. That's what, like, that was like an illusion that we was sold coming up in poverty in the hood, man. Like, oh, this the only way that you can run up on a big bag. Like, no, bro. Listen, I know motherfuckers that's millionaires making all type of money, and they ain't selling no drugs. They not even near no street shit, and they just doing legit shit, paying taxes, taking care of their family, living the life, though. Like, the motherfuckers that's in the streets want to live. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I want to put out there. Like, that's not it, bro. Like, for real. Like, it come with some consequences, dog. Like, and you go to jail if you lucky. You know what I mean? That's what the OG told me when I was locked up. Like, nigga, you lucky you came to jail. Because most niggas is going 6 feet under, you know what I'm saying? And they ain't even going to be able to, you know, live and see the shit that we seeing. So, you know what I mean? Just got to appreciate life more. And that's what I've been doing, man. I've been real blessed, bro. Like, for real. But you don't need the streets. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if, you know what I mean, that's not the only way out. But, you know, if that's where you find yourself trying to get a startup, do what you got to do, but be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, you know, change nobody's mind or nothing, but I'm just telling you from my experience. If you is in the streets, man, be smart about that shit and have your exit plan. Be doing that shit with a plan. Don't be just doing that shit just the front for the bitches. Don't be doing that shit for the gram and all that goofy shit. Like, that's another thing. Niggas be on the gram and on the internet posting they doing illegal activities. Like, nigga, you know you can go to jail forever, bro. Like, fool. Like, but you know, to each his own though. You know, I grew up in a different motherfucking time frame where none of that shit would have been acceptable when I was growing up. But you know, to each his own, man. You know, but be smart, man. That's what I'm pushing that culture. Be smart, man, for real.
I've also heard too from doing another interview with somebody else that even if you delete the pictures that you posted, it's saved in the archive somewhere.
Man, the internet, social media is the police, dog. If you don't think that, bruh, talk around your iPhone, and when Alexa say or Siri say, I didn't catch that, that bitch is recording you, dog. Like, what? I didn't even ask you nothing. But yo, come on now. Why not? Why wouldn't they do that? But you know, it's so real that they even talking about the TVs is recording you and looking at you type shit. Like, who knows? But at the end of the day, man, shit, you know, right is right, wrong is wrong. You got to be smart about what you're doing.
Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward, or what you got out of it?
I mean, as a learning experience, you know what I mean? I overcame a lot of shit and I learned and made me a better man, but financially, fuck no, bro. Like, I'm making way more money legitimately and having way more fun, and I'm, you know what I mean, doing way more things for my family and for myself and doing a lot of shit legitimately. Like I made way more money legitimately than I ever made in the streets. And then I look back at myself like, damn, bro, if I'd have only knew that then, I'd be up crazy right now. I'd be up even more than I am now, bro. Like, for real. I'd be up something crazy.
You hide it from your parents at first?
Of course. I remember my father first found my shells, gun shells at the house. It was like, what, I was like 17, 18, somewhere, 19, somewhere around there. But, you know what I mean? He like, get this shit out my motherfucking house, dog. Yeah, man, I did, you know. But hey, that was a learning experience for me, though. But you know me, I'm just trying to be a motherfucking good example to my kids. Because, you know, like, and that was another reason why I left the streets alone. Because it's like, you want to tell your kids to do one thing, but you doing this. Like, they don't listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. So, you know, I'm just trying to lead by example, not just for my kids, but just for anybody that's paying attention to what I got going on.
He tried to persuade you out of the streets?
Of course. Hell yeah, parents definitely do that, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that I appreciate my dad for, man. He was always a stand-up dude. Like, he kept it 1,000 all the time, like, for real.
Now, you were obviously, when you first started, 1 foot in school, 1 foot in street activity.
That's a fact.
Were you able to complete high school?
Man, that's what I told you, bro. I was always a smart dude. That's why I'm excelling in life right now. Graduated from high school, went to college, all that. I ain't graduated from college. I was a college dropout, but man, I did a lot of things.
Now, doing these types of interviews with people with a similar experience and things of that nature as you, sometimes kids, for several reasons, won't finish high school. They drop out.
That's a fact.
What kept you motivated to finish it, at least get the diploma, before even thinking about college?
Yeah, I mean, I always was intended to be, do the right thing too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always had a job, even though I was in the streets hustling. Like, I always was doing the right thing, but, the getting a little money on the side too, like. But, I always was intentions to do the right thing. My heart was pure to do the right thing the whole time, but, like, we needed that extra bag to do the things that we wanted to do, so, to live the life that we wanted to live. Because we ain't got no handouts. I come from a city, ain't no handouts. Like, we ain't got no, just like for the music shit, we ain't got no big labels that's coming down and signing talent and none of that shit. Like everything that I'm getting from the music industry right now and I'm blessed for it, I had to go out and get it. Like I told you, I'm in a different city, different state every weekend, pushing and networking and building. I turned down 2 record deals already, like, because I already got a bigger picture and a bigger plan for this shit.